In our Trader Rundown today, Dave Bartosiak of Zacks.com is here to talk about trading and investing. Thanks for coming on the show, Dave.
Thanks for having me.
So we're targeting millennials, but also the general audience, people who might be interested in getting into investing or trading stocks. And as a professional trader, because you're a big-time guy now, how did you get your start?
Well, it's funny. It's kind of ironic almost, because it initially kind of started with baseball cards, right? I'd collect baseball cards and find out that, oh, these cards are worth money, right? But that was at an early age. And then my dad one day said, hey kid, you got 100 shares of Starbucks, watch this TV. And it was WYCC channel 20. And I would watch the ticker go across the bottom of the screen, and I'd watch it for so long that when I took my eyes off it, the room was moving. And that's kind of where it all started from, my kind of obsession with this whole stock market. So it started at a very early age.
So sometimes just watching a video or a TV show can be a start. You learn to listen for certain words, and you learn the language, and you're taking it in even though you might not realize it. So when did that spark really get lit to the point where you're like, I want to be a trader?
Sure, I mean, it happened early. So during the .com era, right, when everything was going up, everybody thought they were a guru, and I thought I was a guru too. So working with my parents saying, hey, buy XYZ, buy ABC, for the most part they ignored me. But then when they saw ABC and XYZ start skying higher, then all of a sudden they started paying a little bit of attention. So that's kind of where it was in high school, honestly, trading in my UTMA account at the time with my parents helping me out. That's kind of where it first started. And then I just knew I was going to study it in college. And then right out of the gate, I had to just hit the ground running.
How's your Starbucks stock doing now?
So Starbucks is spectacular. Unfortunately, I dumped most of it. But I got all sorts of cool stuff that high schoolers get, right? I paid for the prom, I got a sweet tux, I got probably a closet full of Jordans, that's how it was.
So what did you learn? Can you give us some lessons?
Yeah, I mean, just early on, don't be afraid of making that initial investment. That's one of the scariest things, is you can do it on paper and you can pretend like you're gonna make a ton of money, but until you have that actual visceral reaction to what's taking place with a stock going up or a stock going down, you have no idea how you're gonna be emotionally prepared for it.
And how do you keep those emotions in check?
You just never let them, you gotta go Godfather style, right? Never let emotions cloud your judgment. So you gotta make the decision when you're totally unemotional, plan the entire trade out, and then it doesn't matter what happens, as long as you have a plan in place, it's gonna be okay.
What have been some of your better investments, Dave?
So recently, had a really nice run on a smaller sort of offshore oil stock, right? The ticker was ORIG, ORIG. So what I did was essentially the whole industry was kind of beat up, baby out with the bathwater sort of thing.
Sure.
But we saw over at Zacks that the earnings estimates were starting to tick up. So a lot of analysts were getting more and more bullish on the stock. So I started investigating a little bit, and I found out they were actually making more money than the stock was trading at.
Interesting, and that's what you want.
Absolutely. So I rolled it. I mean, it's usually there for a reason though, right? I mean, if the stock's, trading at $1 and they're making $1.50, there's probably a reason for that, right? But you have to weigh whether or not you agree with those reasons in the long term. So I loaded the boat on a little bit of that, and as that whole industry came back, that paid off really well.
Thanks for coming on the show, and keep those insights coming to us, Dave. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.